Fast forward, Mamina was a what Jimre Ewa, AGH Politics 360 podcast of the training books make headlines. And I Jimre Nadibi Esomo Ewaha, Nidim Yahon Block Simu, Master say young Queen Simu. Ye Queen Simu Ewa political highways in his war. A Z9 headquarter crash, AC or Adansebu Wasiano. And at Menoka say, Felix Fosukwache Ababonting, Eddie Abatok Ghana Fonian Enim, say Adumurano Eddie Adumbi Edumiania. 10th November, and a reporting in a bit at the Ababe Dang a Ghana for. Na Sansim we see in Sema, Edda Ghana for Akomasui pa. The Sentinel, Yabosu Muding, na Yamfa and Train a year, Felix Fosukwache, Abra, Nyambua, Monday, Ubitimi a day a mu inchidemu Ababoying, Quanya, a year, Fdino Efaso at the Toya de Kofabai Inina. Committee
tasked with investigating the Ghana Air Force Harbin Z9 helicopter crash is expected to present its report on Monday, November 10, to the National Security Council. According to the Minister of Government Communications, Felix Kwachiofosu, the details of the report will subsequently be made public at a media briefing on Tuesday. The Ghana Air Force Harbin Z9 helicopter crash on August 6, 2025 at Adanse Akroma in the Ashanti region. That's where it happened. The accident claimed the lives of 8 people, including Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Omane-Boama, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, and Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Alhaji Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed. The rest are Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator Alhaji Muniri Mohammed, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Dr. Samuel Sapong, former parliamentary candidate and Deputy NADMO Director Samuel Abaje. The military personnel who also died in the crash are Wing Commander Peter Bafemi Anala, who was the pilot, Flight Lieutenant Manning Chum Ampedu, and Flight Sergeant Ernest Adu Menta.
Now, despite growing concerns about the safety of water transport on the Volta Lake, boat operators at various landing sites in the Volta and Oti regions, they continue to operate without providing life jackets for passengers. Faisal Abdul Idrisu reports that the lack of compliance with safety regulations has led to numerous accidents on the lake, resulting in the loss of lives.
Water transport is a major means of transportation for island communities and residents along the Volta Lake in the Volta and Oti regions. But recurring boat accidents leading to loss of lives remain a major constraint, raising questions about the safety of water transport on the country's inland waterways. Last month, 15 persons, including 11 children, died in a boat accident on a section of the Volta Lake in the Karachi West municipality of the Oti region. Despite this, checks at the various landing sites reveal commercial boat operators continue to operate without life jackets for passengers.
Life jacket,
we do not have the life jackets. Some of the boats here carry as much as 25 people, but you'd find only 2 or 3 life jackets in them. So we want government, through the Ghana Maritime Authority, to support us with life jackets. We are not happy with the happenings on the lake, but we are helpless. The casualties recorded on the lake is as a result of the unavailability of life jackets and indiscipline on the part of the passengers. Even the few we have, when we give them, they don't wear it. They put it on their heads. As part of efforts aimed at ensuring safety, the Ghana Maritime Authority says it's undertaking a series of initiatives, including the opening of offices at every landing site.
We'll be inspecting life jackets, we'll be inspecting load lines, we'll be inspecting safety requirements. So our presence here is directly related to our safety mandate. And one of the initiatives also we are bringing on board is to make life jackets available at reasonable cost, below the cost at which they would have otherwise bought it in the public space.
To ensure compliance with safety protocols, Member of Parliament for Kwando Sebastian Dare has underscored the need for extensive education in communities along the coastline.
Every industry will comply with the rules and regulations that govern that industry.
more so when it has to do with water transport or lake transport for that matter. So it comes with education, just ensuring that people who go on the lake, particularly those who operate, are aware and are also made aware.
Between 2019 to 2024, the Maritime Authority spent over 94 million Ghana cedis to implement safety measures on the country's inland waterways.
Sometime in June, TV3 reported on how illegal mining has ripped apart vegetation and also polluted two major river bodies at Atetem, a farming community in the Adansia Soka district. But that was not all. The only basic school was also sitting at the edge of an uncovered pit. Well, there's an update in the following report filed by William Inkum.
This was at Atetem sometime in June. Enoch was caught by the Minerals Development Fund monitoring team mining illegally. He drops out of school after class 6. Illegal mining in Atetem has raped vegetation and polluted two water bodies, Jimmy and Subin. After 5 months, there seems to be some progress. The Jimmy River is coming back to life. Enoch, on the other hand, is searching for a new job, a green one. The MDF has initiated moves to engage local firms, provide job opportunities to the likes of Enoch, so they are not swayed into illegal mining.
He came to me and said, "Ma, I'm not doing it again now. I want something." And so he's somebody that we are going to train. We picked his details, and he's one person that we will bring him here and we pay for him to be trained. The owner of this establishment was once upon a time a small-scale miner, was once upon a time an illegal miner, was once upon a time into this activity that has now become like a chronic disease for our nation. And any chronic disease, I've always been saying it, as a doctor, I always will go back to that, say you cannot treat a chronic disease with an acute protocol. And so if you are going to do it, with a chronic protocol, then it means that as you push them, you give them a better exit.
A distraction everywhere and becoming recurrent in forest zones. Current. Behind the Atetem DA Basic School, a deep life-threatening pit has entrapped a 3-unit classroom block, sheltering hundreds of children. These children are exposed to the ruins and horrors of illegal mining echoed in their thoughts. As the administrator of the MDF presents educational materials to the Atetem DA school, she recalls a moment one of these kids asked for a gun instead of a book.
During my interaction with the kids the last time I came here, I asked them what they needed. One kid mentioned a gun. So I said, I don't have a toy gun. But he said, no, mommy, I want the big gun they use. It was then I realized the kids have been exposed to the dangers of galamsey.
William Evans Inkum, TV3 News, Atetem.
Now, the National Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Newz, has raided an illegal mining site at Besiasi in the Ayeswano district of the Eastern region. The Newz team arrested the site's galamsey kingpin responsible for blocking and polluting the Ayensu River. According to the Newz task force, the suspect arrived at the site armed with a pistol and attempted to bribe officials with 100,000 cedis to avoid arrest. The bribery, the cash alongside galamsey equipment was seized and the illegal mining operations were shut down immediately. The action is part of ongoing efforts to curb illegal mining activities and protect Ghana's water bodies from pollution. And Newz added that investigations are ongoing and those involved in illegal operations will face the full force of the law.
Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama has sent a strong warning to community members who attack security officials on illegal mining duty, stressing that such offenders will face the full rigors of the law. The president's caution follows a recent attack on members of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, the Environmental Protection Authority, and some journalists by residents of a mining community during an official operation. Here's a report by Kwame Bafo Ejekum.
Speaking at the 29th Ghana Journalists Association Awards held in Kumasi, President Mahama described the attacks as unacceptable. He warned that the government will not relent in its fight against illegal mining, which continues to destroy the nation's water bodies and environment.
The fight against illegal mining is complex and challenging. Illegal mining has so deeply ingrained itself in the fabric of our society that despite the obvious damage it causes to our environment, entire communities mobilize and confront security personnel when they arrive to combat illegal mining operations in their areas. I wish to notify communities that attack public officials and security personnel performing their lawful duties that firm action will be taken against them. Upon receipt of the news, I instructed the Chief of Staff to contact the journalists who were injured to check on their health and assist with settling any hospital bills incurred.
The president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Jumfo, called on the executive to consider establishing a special court to speed up the trial of illegal mining offenders as a deterrent to others.
We know recently there was a meeting with the president and the auditor general on corruption. We want the same meeting to be held. So special court can be created for Galamsey. So Galamsey cases can be heard daily, on daily basis, so that perpetrators will face the full rigors of the law. The time has come for a bold, symbolic step, one that communicates to Ghanaians and to the world that this government is fully committed to winning the war against Galamsey.
Speaking at the event, the acting Chief Justice, His Lordship Justice Paul Bafoboni, emphasized the need for a strong and strategic partnership among the executive, legislature, judiciary, media and civil society organizations to sustain the fight against illegal mining.
Galamsey represents a deeper wound, a failure of collective responsibility. The fight against environmental degradation cannot be waged in silos. Each arm of government and each institution must perform its constitutional role with integrity, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. When the media operates with responsibility, the judiciary with impartiality, and the executive with transparency, the foundation of our democracy remains firm and unshakable.
The 29th GJ Awards celebrated excellence in journalism under the theme Safeguarding Ghana's Future, the role of the media in promoting peace, security, and the fight against Galamsey.
Away from that to the health arena, in a groundbreaking study, a team of Ghanaian cardiologists have used artificial intelligence to listen to the heart and detect heart failure in under 2 minutes. The DAMSIM HF study was simultaneously published in Circulation, one of the world's top-ranked heart journals, and presented on Saturday, November 8, 2025, as a late-breaking clinical trial at the American Heart Association Scientific Sessions. Portia Gabo has more.
This is not an ordinary stethoscope. The original stethoscope, invented in 1816, allows healthcare professionals to only hear internal sounds of a patient's body. But this is a game changer, an artificial intelligence-powered one.
There's an AI built in this. You can see there's a screen here. So if a patient came to the hospital, complained about the usual symptoms that attend heart failure, then whoever is there, if it's a nurse, whoever has been trained to do that, will then put the stethoscope on your chest. The screen will display a number of things. One, it will display the heart rate. If your rhythm is abnormal, you don't beat regularly to do that. And the third thing is that after listening to all 4 auscultation sites, it would pop up on your phone.
Heart failure is one of the biggest causes of death in Ghana today, Unfortunately, many people are diagnosed too late because Ghana has fewer than 30 cardiologists for over 30 million people. That means thousands of patients with heart failure are never diagnosed in time.
Before you get to see a cardiologist with a heart problem, is a referral team to the big facilities, 37 Kolebu, and even for you to be booked, it becomes a big challenge. And sometimes too, they end up not going. And sometimes too, people die out of heart failure without even knowing. But with this stethoscope, you get to know the state of the heart.
Adra is here at the Notre Dame Clinic in Nsawam to check the status of her heart. The AI-powered stethoscope is connected to a phone app that records heart sounds and lets AI analyze them instantly to see if the heart might be weak. A nurse or physician assistant in a rural clinic can easily record the heart sounds, send them securely to the cloud, and within minutes receive AI-assisted interpretation that alerts a cardiologist anywhere in the world.
When you look at our top 10 OPD cases, I think it's raining. Apart from malaria, it's one of the second cases that we've been getting within the municipality. So it's a good thing they brought this thing to us.
Hypertension and the heart failure is not the number one silent killer in the country now. Most people don't know. People are walking here and there. They don't know what is wrong with them. All of a sudden, you see people dying. She just came. She wanted to know what is actually going on. So when she came, we used the AI stethoscope to check the sound of her heart, the status of the heart, and see, dictate. And then when we did, the result came out. When the people called me from outside, I was told that everything is normal. It's okay.
The Damson HF study, which stands for Detection and Management of Heart Failure using Sensora, a digital stethoscope, was led by Ghanaian cardiologists through the G-Act Foundation and Echo Health in the United States of America.
We've always had this question: when you have a new technology, when you have a new vehicle, when you have a new iPhone, you are able to get it to Africa. When it comes to health, there is that huge digital divide. That is the first time that we have demonstrated on the African continent that borders can actually be a barrier anymore.
It involved 4 hospitals around Konfanoche in Kumasi. About 115 patients who had symptoms of heart failure were enrolled in the study.
So assuming we took 100 patients, all the 100 were picked by the normal echocardiogram as abnormal, if you like. The stethoscope was used in all these 100, and out of the 197 of them were picked by the stethoscope. So indeed, what we describe as the sensitivity of the tool is 97%. That is a game changer.
More than 90% of AI-identified cases were reviewed by a cardiologist within 48 hours, and instead of taking 30 minutes and a specialist, it gave an answer in under 2 minutes. In Ghana, the device is currently being used in some healthcare facilities, including the Nsawam Government Hospital, Notre Dame Clinic in Nsawam, and the Global Evangelical Mission Center in Akroma, Kumasi. For the team that led the study, they are happy that Africa isn't just receiving technology from the world, but creating it and proving that it works. The world has heard Ghana's heartbeat, a heartbeat powered by innovation, collaboration, and hope.
Our goal for the next few, I would say specifically next year, is to expand this and make this technology accessible to almost everyone in the country. We are hoping to screen about 50,000 people at the end of next year. So now that we have the device validated, is to actually deploy this in all the regions in Ghana.
Portia Gabo, TV3 News.
A digital revival is sweeping across Ghana and beyond, where prayer meetings, once confined to church halls, have found a new home online. From Alpha R to NSPPD and the Hallelujah Challenge, millions now gather not under one roof or on church pews, but on one network, united by faith, hope, and technology. Our reporter Grace Hamwajiman explores how virtual prayer communities are changing the way people worship, and why, for many, it has become a vital part of daily life.
It's midnight in Accra. While most of the city sleeps, Thousands are wide awake, praying, singing, and believing, not in a church building, but on their phones and laptops. What began as short virtual prayer meetings during the pandemic has now grown into a powerful global movement from the Pastor Elvis Ajiman-led Alpha R. To Nigeria's NSPPD, hosted by Pastor Jerry Eze.
If you want to keep back your testimony, let your vision be restored.
We ain't some award waiting because watching and so. Mamma was so Jim or Senate or body, the Adumbi Adumania. Unia, a sign at some Subcribe.